Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you all for joining. I know the nibbio team is here. Anybody else that might be joining, that's joining us this afternoon. Beautiful Friday. Happy Friday to everybody. Thank you all. I wanted to give a quick presentation, make it a little bit more public as to what we are up to here at nibbio. This is going to be our first flight log session. I'll be talking about the story of nibbio so far, what we're about, and what we're up to over the next few weeks. This will be our first session of many. We're going to do this weekly, even though today we're doing them on Friday. We're aiming for Thursdays. But anyway, just inviting everybody to come along for the ride. Again, it's a joy to be here, and thank you for your attention. And with that, let me start sharing my screen here. Oh, let me get the presentation going. All right, here we go. Sorry about that. Let me just make sure that Figma cooperates with us. One moment, please. Thank you, team, for commenting there. Appreciate everybody's comments there. Hey, soon enough, I'm going to be getting those comments in the screen. But hey, I'm new to this, so we'll see how this goes. Still trying to figure out this Figma thing. Bear with me for a moment. Figured that it wouldn't be perfect the first time around. It would have been too easy here. All right, let's see, Figma. All right, here we go. Just restarting the presentation. Beautiful. All right, we got it. All right, so again, welcome to the flight log. This is our first session of hopefully many. This will be a bit of a building public update as to what nibbio has been up to over the past few years and what we're going to be doing in the next few months. We are trying to be as public as possible with everything that we're doing. This is the whole concept of building in public to invite you along for the journey. And let me start with, why do we call this the flight log? And this gives me a good opportunity to talk a little bit about the history of nibbio. Nibbio started on September of 2019. The name nibbio actually came from the flying machine of Leonardo da Vinci. I know that when I started nibbio, I wanted a name that sounded good in Spanish and in English because we have a worldwide team. And at the time, this seemed like the best name. And because nibbio is a flying machine and we're inviting you along for the flights, we're calling this the flight log. This will be a weekly building public update where we're going to be showing you what we have been doing. So with that, I'll continue on here. We actually were blessed to start at a Fortune 150 level. We deployed a pretty large RPA program for a Fortune 150 organization. They named their RPA bots Rosie. Then in a different vertical within that organization, we launched Elroy, going along with that Jetsons theme. Of course, we all experienced that COVID-19 work from home, and ever since we have been a fully remote company, which we found as a blessing in disguise for our company in particular, because we get to be close to our families and working from wherever we wish to work, as long as we get our work done, which is great. And I know that the team really enjoys it. Then Rosie 2.0 was launched also in a different vertical of that same Fortune 150 organization. I'm going to talk about all those growth opportunities that we've had over the past few years. And after we launched Rosie 2.0, we started building custom software applications. These applications were operational in nature, so we tackled very much operational processes in the organization. In particular, this first one was right along the processes for land and home building stages, which is a financial and operational process that came together in our program. We also built a corporate budget application, a finance app, and we really started doubling down in our capabilities for custom software development. This past year, over the past 6 months, we have actually been implementing EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System. I always tell the team that we are a nice blend between a Navy ship and a pirate ship. A pirate ship is, putting that knife between your teeth and going along and getting after the objective. And a Navy ship gets to the objective very consistently over a long period of time. EOS was very much that attempt to make Nibbio more of a Navy ship than a pirate ship, without losing the spirit of the pirates, of course. I want to give a public shout out here to Jennifer, our implementer. She's part of the Profit Recipe, with whom we're recently established a partnership with. And of course, we'll give you guys a big update on that later on. Now, EOS allowed us to build our core focus, which is that we exist to inspire growth and free people from life-draining work. The way we do this is by digitizing, innovating, and automating work. Our core focus then allows us to achieve our core target, or will allow us to achieve our core target, which is to save 50 million hours of human life by January of 2030. And this was all part of the work that we did with the EOS activities, where we narrowed all this down in what's called the Vision Traction Organizer. It's been a great exercise so far, and we're continuing to get better at it. This also allowed us to distill our core values, which again, this is all a recap from a meeting that we had about a few months ago when we launched all of this, but I felt that it was good to reiterate all of this. Our first one is GSD, we get stuff done. Do not curse in a live stream. We're scrappy. Again, that pirate mentality to get that knife between your teeth and getting stuff done. We have high agency, where we have everything we need to make stuff happen. And if we don't, we ruthlessly seek it. And we're disciplined, where we show up every day. UIE, which is unmatched in excellence. We have an unyielding pursuit of excellence. We're humble and coachable, and we stay hungry for more. The next one is SLAB, share, learn, anticipate, and bond. We share our learnings, we're open and honest, and we anticipate the needs and communicate proactively. And lastly, yes means yes. We crush it because we said we would, we leisure because we said we would, and we take ownership because we said we would. It was a work of several months to be able to land on something like this, and I'm very proud of these values, and I know the team constantly shows them. So I want to give a quick shout out to the team who's listening to this stream right now. I thank you all for all the effort into putting this together and showing them every day. I'm very proud of all the stuff that we've done so far. Now, with this whole EOS transition, we also tried to come up with a strategic plan, right? We started, again, September 2019 as a consultancy firm. We focused on RPA, We started building custom web applications that were highly scalable. But consulting is a one-to-one business in which our scaling factor is us, the people. And if we want to scale a consulting firm, we have to scale the number of people that we want to have. And after 5 years, it's worked super well, and we are going to continue to build upon this. But our next steps, at least when we had just began EOS, we thought, okay, we're going to move from consulting to a managed service for small and medium-sized businesses. And then we're going to be building a SaaS portfolio, which is the ultimate level of scalability, where software really is the thing that scales for us. But we found over the past quarter that it was difficult to set up a sales process that's repetitive for a managed service, right? So we thought, okay, if it's going to be the same amount of effort to get to that middle step than it is to get to that final step, we might as well get started on the final step as well, because we have to have that repeatable sales process to be able to scale our company. So right now we're in this in-between managed service and SaaS portfolio service, where we are trying a bunch of different things. I will talk about why that is in just a couple of slides. But first, I want to show why us and why now, why we are pursuing this new path, this additional path from consultancy. Again, not dropping consultancy, but rather enhancing it with new pursuits, and why now. And this is because of three things. Like I mentioned, we have 5-year Fortune 150 experience, which has been, to put it simply, a trial by fire. Number two, this trial by fire allowed us to build a technical architecture that has enterprise quality, security, and scale. And that's a big differentiator for us. And number three, the AI moment. Everybody talks about AI, but why is Nibbio well positioned for AI right now? I think that's important for me to say. So now, the Fortune 150 experience, very much a trial by fire. After leaving Blue Prism in September of 2019, which, by the way, big shout out to my Blue Prism family. It was a joy to work there, and it was a wonderful first job out of college. I got to meet so many great people and work in so many cool projects that I look back at that time very fondly. But starting at a Fortune 150 as a consultant, there was a lot of high demands and high standards for the stakeholders. The business always wanted things done yesterday, and they constantly wanted us to be as perfect as possible, right? And then the IT environment was high stakes as well, because we had to refine our solutions by going through different committees. And everybody that has participated in a Fortune 150 or even Fortune 500 IT organization maybe recognizes this acronym. So we had to go through architecture review board, through the change advisory board every time we wanted to deploy things to production, security review board, etc., right? And get approvals from a ton of people, which makes sense. As a large organization, you have been successful for several years, and you're trying to mitigate any risk from systems that could come up. But at the time, we were a young company. We had to figure out how things were, and we also had to immediately scale nationwide and over for thousands of users, which brought particular challenges to our solutions, because we couldn't just think of a small pilot of a few users. Even though that's how we often started, it would scale very, very quickly across time zones and to the whole United States, even internationally. But this posed us to, okay, when this challenge came about, the question is, how do we build software that is enterprise quality and super fast? And I went through this journey with the team over a few years and started digging hard and fast for knowledge, right? Starting with that clean architecture, the classic Uncle Bob book that talks about how to build enterprise quality software. And then clean architecture introduced me to domain-driven design. Along the way, I learned about TDD, which is test-driven development, and BDD, which is that behavior-driven development. all these wonderful acronyms that I'm not going to go into detail for in this video, maybe in another flight log later down the road. But what I was really challenged with was, how do you build great communication between the business requirements and our technical team? And really, that's how I landed on event storming. Event storming is a methodology to find exactly that. How do you find, in the fastest and easiest way possible, good requirements and understanding the business domain? We executed several event storming sessions with our teams, which allowed us to have a lot of clarity. But event storming stays at a high level, stays at a business level, but doesn't necessarily get to a level of detail that I desired. And this is when Adam Dimitriuk's event modeling came about, and I started learning about that. Event modeling adds a component of a user experience layer to this whole thing, and it really gets down to very much the detail, almost as the solution design. This also introduced me to the world of event sourcing, which is a great architecture for enterprise quality software, where events become the source of truth rather than the most updated state of the application. Again, not going into any detail in this video just yet, but in later flight logs, I'll probably be talking about this whole journey. And lately, in terms of user experience and next generation of web applications, I've been diving deep into local first. But you can see that this is a winding road that I've taken for to answer that question. How do we build software that is enterprise quality yet fast? We don't want to move fast and break things. We want to move fast and be successful and not break anything, which is a bit counterintuitive given the common knowledge in Silicon Valley. But it's been a great journey. The journey so far has allowed us to arrive to a Venn diagram that's very, very tight, right? We started with enterprise automation and RPA. We then started building web applications. Then we moved on to event sourcing and local first. And this Venn diagram is very, very tight, right? You get people that know about web apps and enterprise automation, but might not know a lot about event sourcing, and vice versa. And in particular, within the web application world, in that JavaScript and TypeScript world, I know that that's where a lot of the local first innovation is happening, but event sourcing is really nowhere to be found. Event sourcing is more of an enterprise software idea. So the C# and .NET developers have almost a monopoly on it, but there are barely any TypeScript or Node.js developers in that community. So it's a super, super tight Venn diagram where we like to play. We find it that, hey, this is the sweet spot where we're trying to really dig deep and light it on fire and hopefully make that Venn diagram bigger. But it also brought about some challenges, right? We had to build our own proprietary building blocks. We had to build our own serverless event store, which we just finished. About to really have to do a couple more pull requests for that, but almost there, which is an offering that I haven't really found in the market just yet. That, by the way, might turn into a product. Who knows? It also allows us to take this database per tenant approach, which is instead of having one very large database for all your tenants in a multi-tenant setup for SaaS, you can have a database per tenant and truly segregate the data while maintaining the benefits of event sourcing, which is super cool. I'm very proud of that. We've built some local first and event sourcing libraries as well. We have our UI component kits, authentication and authorization, and observability. Of course, by the time we go to production, we want to make sure that if anything breaks, we can diagnose and solve super quick. But these are what I like to think as Lego pieces that can be reshuffled and recombined to build a ton of really great products. And this is one of the big reasons why we're going through this change right now. And building our own proprietary software has been quite the challenge, but a good challenge. And I think that it's posing us to be successful here. And of course, everybody talks about AI. I'm not going to beat that horse here. This has been a 5-year distillery process, and it sounds like I'm about to sell you some whiskey, but what I mean is this journey that I took you on for the past few minutes allowed us to arrive to a fairly simple solution, right? The solution that uses modern web technologies, great architecture, combining in there operational and the kind of socio-technical experience that we've had in the enterprise, which gives us, fast and high quality iterations with the tooling that we built. And we can use AI as an accelerator, right? Everybody talks about Cursor now and this kind of Devin, the AI software engineer. But if you don't have the right requirements, if you don't have the right methodology to be able to find and land on something that's easy for an engineer to build or even an AI to build, it's not going to work. It might be a quick prototype, but it's not going to scale after a few users, right? And again, our enterprise experience taught us that very quickly, and we had to learn very fast. So I do believe we're very, very well positioned to succeed now. This went by pretty quickly, but let me just recap everything from our first session here together. First, we are well positioned to pursue our own products. We are going to continue to do consultancy and potentially a managed service with the hopes of finding the big problems that we can solve with software. As of right now, we already have some in the pipeline that we're working on, and we're going to be revealing in the flight log here as well. But we are continuously seeking big problems. We are especially reaching out to customers, friends, and family. We love EOS companies as well. They have the business side very well structured, which gives us fuel to come in and build some amazing tech for them. And we want to hear about them. So if anybody out there is an EOS organization and is struggling with tech, would be happy to help. And we're able to iterate very quickly, right? Put us to the test. I'm very sure that we can really hit it out of the park for you guys. And keep things very high quality. Again, we have had trial by fire over the past 5 years. So we are ready to continue moving along for new challenges. Especially, we would love to play with SMBs who are looking to grow through software. Again, next week, we're going to show our first product. It is in the legal tech space. And of course, we have AI embedded into it and our amazing architecture. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining in this first flight log session. It will be the first of many. Make sure you tune in next week, again on Thursday, where we're going to be revealing that first product that uses this architecture. And if you're interested in anything that I just mentioned, would love to hear from you. Add a comment here or shoot me a message. I'm always open, and you're seeing this in different platforms. This is my first time streaming this, so hopefully you guys enjoy this and I wasn't too boring. Anyway, happy Friday, everybody.